What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Lumsden Motorsports Garage. I'm Wade Lumsden. And in this video, what we're going to start with is I kind of took off a little bit off camera and was trying to get some stuff done. I am running out of time. That's the way it always seems to be for us poor guys with day jobs. You know, you go to work and you come home, you only get a couple hours in the garage, and then the weekend hits and you know, something breaks or something else that takes you off of this project and you gotta work on the house or something weird, you know. C'est la vie, you know, such is life. So I'm gonna give you a quick tour of kind of what I was doing off camera. Most of it's really simple stuff. If there's anything that I did that you want to see a video on, I'd be happy to come back and do a video on it. Just comment below, let me know. And you know, like always, like and subscribe if you like what we're doing here. It really helps the channel out and I appreciate it. And you know, let's get to work. All right, so one of the first things I did is I installed me some new belts. If you remember back to my video on the Bristol safety check equipment, I found that my belts were expired. So I got me a new set of belts. These ones don't expire until, I know it's dark in here, June of 2022. But again, I got them on the Summit discount rack, so I'm super stoked about those. But I'll show you here. So the style I got, and actually, let me, I don't think you guys have seen this yet. I installed some LED lights last year. I always seemed to be a guy that was pit out by himself in the middle of nowhere, and it was always dark around me, and I was tired of holding the flashlight while trying to work underneath the car. So I installed LED lights to where a guy could see under here without struggling for light. Anyways, my Shaw chassis has mounts for my belts. There's these for every single spot, so both lap belt spots. As you can see, there's the bolt for that one. So lap belts, and you can notice that the mount is actually bolted on this bar that goes this way in the chassis, right? A lot of older chassis have them where they come back to here and they attach to this bar of the overslung portion. And unfortunately, I believe it was back east somewhere, somebody took a massive shot in the back of the car and it ripped the back of the car off, and the belts decided to go with it, and it messed up that driver. I actually think they passed away from it, unfortunately. So important, make sure your belts are mounted in a way where they're going to stay with your seat. I don't care if you're in a modified, hobby stock, Gen X, whatever. Make sure that if your seat, the stuff that your seat and your belts are mounted to, and they need to be mounted to the same thing, the roll cage, together. If they come separated from any other portion of the car, that this stays together and keeps you safe and doesn't get you squished. That's extremely important. So, but I did the belts. You can see I got springs and sliders installed. Nothing's really adjusted. I kind of ghetto did my ride heights super fast, which is a measurement from the top of my rear end housing to the bottom here. I just set them up super fast. I got shocks in. Make sure you go talk to Steve over at TSM. He hooked me up with some good stuff. I've been using his stuff for a while, and it always seems to do me right. So on top of that, I did my J-bar. I put it back into a neutral spot. Same thing with my pull bar, put it back into a neutral spot. Everything over here is tight. Brakes, are all installed already. Put tires back on, and we are back on the ground. All right, coming up front, you saw me install all my spindles and all that happy stuff. I got some springs installed now. My ride heights are just kind of close. I haven't had the opportunity to actually set the ride heights, which I won't do until I 100% have my body and all of the weight that's going to be on this car is on the car. That's when I'll do my ride heights and you know, set my caster camber toe, all that happy stuff. You want to set all that basically as if your car is race ready. But I did go ahead and make this cool little screen. I'll be honest, I took on this project and thought it was going to be super fast, and I probably wasted 3 or 4 hours on it. So let me show you what I had before here. Boom, that's what I had in there before. I just made it out of some aluminum, and as you can see, stuff was getting torn up. So I decided to make this. I had some tin left over from doing a body, and I cut all this out, and I put a nice bend in here that goes around to the side of the radiator. A bend here, please don't laugh at my hem that I bent the wrong direction. Same thing on this side. It goes around, covers the radiator, drops down. It's nice and stiff. I pop riveted with the exploding pop rivets on the back. I pop riveted some mesh on there. This is all one piece, and then of course bolted it in the one spot right here that is supplied to bolt stuff like that on. I hope this works out good for me. I hope it doesn't create any heating issues. If anything, it should help force that fan to suck air strictly through it, and any air that's coming up and over, kind of dam it here and force it through there. I know the better way is to actually put a fan shroud on the back side, but hopefully that helps and doesn't mess anything up. I guess we're gonna find out if we get a chance to go hot lap the car. All right, next thing I did in my last video, I believe I talked about putting an alternator in, and I wired it up wrong. I wired it from here down to my starter, and that was a problem. So I created a new wire. I just wanted to come back and show everybody that I actually did that. Created a new wire, and it runs all the way back to my battery. So that should be good. That way my actual power switch here, so this is my main on and off switch, right? So now when I turn this off, it kills the car. It kills all power, and it wasn't doing that before. If I turned this off but left the ignition on, the car still ran. So that was a problem. Make sure you get that right. But fix that off camera. So the next cool little fun thing I did was this is my battery. I covered it with with an old tire tube that actually came out of one of my old modified tires when I was, you know, balling on a budget. I used to have to tube tires that other people put holes in and threw away, and that's how I got tires. But on to bigger and better things. That tire tube got cut up, and it's a rubber cover, zip tied on this side and clamped down. But here's that wire from the alternator. But the other thing that I added here is a little brace right there to go to the front side of my battery box, and that should hold that nice and tight. I know we're going to be doing a lot faster speeds, and I'm actually kind of afraid that the track is going to get rough. I don't know, it seems like tracks that haven't been run on for a long time, or the first time tracks get run on, they rut out and you start bouncing around and getting crazy. And so I just wanted to add that extra little bit to stiffen up this battery box and keep it from bouncing. All right, one of the next little things that I did that actually took some time was you can see these little marks on the floor here that I put in Sharpie, and I'll show you back over here. Sharpie, boom. I actually leveled out my scales. I had never done that before, and honestly, I didn't do the most amazing job because I don't have a set of scale stands to put my car up on or anything like that. But I came to find out that, like you can see here, this is 3/4 of an inch, which is actually still a 1/16 of an inch too short. But I couldn't come up with anything else to get this up as high as I actually wanted it to. So on the right rear, I was 3/4 of an inch off. On the left rear, I was a 1/2 inch off, and on the right front, I was a 1/4 of an inch off, and the left front actually gets to sit on the garage floor. So hopefully that'll lead to better scaling numbers when I get to scale here. Let me know if you want to know how I kind of leveled out my scales. I did use a laser level that I went and got from Home Depot, and I purchased, but it actually turned into a borrow because I used it for an afternoon and took it back. But I leveled out my pads as much as I could without having, you know, leveling pads, and then I got the spot marks on the floor on all 4 corners, so when I get ready to scale this thing, I could scale it in the same spot every time. So if you have questions on how I did that, comment below. That's a video that I can totally do again, and show you how I did that, or not do a video again, but do a video on and show you how I did that, so you can do it at home in your own garage. Whew. Okay guys, so this is where we start to panic a little bit, or not panic, okay, maybe panic a little, just a little bit. So today is, I don't know when you're gonna actually see this video, but today is February 24th, just to give you an idea where we're at timeline wise with everything going on. Today's the 24th, and I still got a whole lot of stuff to do on this car, but I'm gonna look at my list here. Okay, yeah, I have a list. That's what I do when I work on my projects. I write things down, and then when things come up, I go, oh yeah, I need to do that too, and then write that down. So keep a list. That's my tech tip. Keep a list. But I got to get a body put on this car. A lot of the things on this list require it to be almost in the race ready state, or rather in the race ready state. So I got to get a body on it. I'm not really going to go over in detail how to do a body, but I will show you this. I'm going to try something new, and it's partially because I got this awesome award at the end of the year, contingency award. Got to thank these guys for that contingency award, Kevco. Awesome of you to support the IMCA modifieds. I really appreciate it. So what we got here is a bolt and a body clip. Check it out. So these clip up onto your body. That goes right into it. Normally, oh, this is going good. Okay. Normally what I'm used to doing is just pop riveting all my spots, drilling them out, pop rivet it, my entire body on, and you know, that always seem to work. But it does get rather annoying when you got to repair panels and you got to drill everything out, repair your panel, put more pop rivets in it. Plus going around the track, you know, somebody drives up underneath your left rear or underneath your right rear and rips the freaking pop rivets out, and then next thing you know, you got a body panel hanging on the ground, or you lose it and you get sent to the back of the pack and all that happy stuff. So I'm gonna try these because supposedly legend has it, so the legend says, these hold on a little bit better. And I think I'm gonna like the convenience of being able to screw them on and screw them off and get access like super fast. Even in between races, that's gonna be kind of a nice feature just to be able to do that. So we're gonna give these a shot when I go to put the body back on, which means I'm gonna end up having to drill my pop rivet holes out a little bit larger. I think these are 1/4 inch. I will have to double check that, but go through and clip these on to the top deck where I have my little flange, and then run the bolt through the body and bolt it on. All right, so like I said, I'm kind of just going to put the body together. Future videos, if you're interested in me going over body stuff, you know, comment below, let me know. But I'll go over how to make a nose and all that other happy BS if that's what you really want. But for right now, I'm just going to kind of put together what I got, and here we go. So you know how when you drill through a piece of aluminum or something, or a body panel, you drill through it and then there's a bunch of gunk and stuff on the backside left, you know, the little fragments that are still attached to whatever you drilled through. These do not like to slide over that. So gonna clean up the backside with my little countersink tool here, and hopefully it'll go a little better. as you can see, I'm just having to motivate them a little bit with screwdriver, hammer, whatever. I'm just giving it some good taps and they're popping up into place, which is awesome. As long as there's no nastiness on the back side of the piece of aluminum you're trying to slide it on. So. So a couple of the spots where I have extra patches and stuff, the bolts that came with it weren't long enough, so I'm just going to try to use some regular 1/4 inch bolts to shove them in there and see how it works. Well, seems like they're working pretty good. I'm going to continue on, putting the body on. It's just a matter of, cleaning up the holes in the back, making sure everything's lined up. And if you got a bunch of patches and things behind here, you got to hope that the bolts that it comes with are long enough to get in there, or you got to go get a different 1/4 inch bolt, a little bit longer, and shove it in there. That seemed to work just fine in the back there. So I'm gonna keep going on, and then when it's on, we'll come back. All right, guys. So got my body on. Here we go. If you're trying to line up these bolts that I went to, with your old pop rivet holes, sometimes it works out, sometimes it don't, and you got to ream out the holes and all that other stuff. But I think it actually put that on pretty stiff, which is awesome. So got that side on, and I got this side on. No, I am not showing up with a new body. I know, not necessarily going to be the prettiest guy out there, but my family kind of has a saying, anything looks good when it's out in front. So who cares if it's all wrinkled up? But hey, I do gotta say, even though it's a little beat up and it's got donut marks and stuff on there, she's a good looking car, man. My sticker guy does fabulous work for me and always making me look good. And even when she gets a little ragged in the body panel area, she still looks great. My opinion. I mean, I guess you can comment below your opinion too, but so yeah, I got the body on. Other thing that I did is I actually took a turkey baster and I emptied out all of the brake fluid out of my 3 master cylinders, my clutch, and my front and my rear master cylinder, and I put brand new brake fluid in there. I am gonna bleed the brakes again off camera, but I'm gonna bleed the brakes and get all that old brake fluid out of it, do a nice flush, and make sure that that's all in good shape. The next thing I did is I added my chain down here to limit my left front travel. So I did it the budget way, I guess, and all I did was drill a hole in the chassis up here, drill a hole in the control arm down here, actually drilled another hole back here as well. That will allow me to get a couple different lengths for adjustment, but and then I just ran the chain and shoved bolts in them. That's kind of the cheap and easy way to do it. I know there's a bunch of guys that run like a Weir's clamp from here, like the same chain limiter that they use in the back, and run it down some guys weld the tab, and some guys limit it down to the upper control arm instead of the lower control arm. I mean, there's a bazillion ways to do it. This is going to be the way I do it for now. I'm hoping to upgrade that system to be something a little bit more adjustable. This gives me only a handful of options, but if I get one of those Weir's adjusters or something like that, I can, you know, unscrew it or even use the one that's got the step increments, and really tune my chassis and the way my car handles with that. But this is what I'm going to do for now, and it should work. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry this video was kind of like, you know, me doing a whole bunch of stuff off camera and, you know, coming back and just showing you what I did. But like I said, I'm starting to run out of time here, and I got to really start smashing through stuff. Plus, I thought that a lot of the things that I'd be going over at this point would be good to have their own individual in-depth videos, and I'm not going to have the time to do all that, especially the editing and getting it posted for you guys between now and Bristol. But it is all stuff that I'll end up doing throughout the season, so I figured I'd just hit that stuff later on. Make sure you comment below if there was anything that you got questions, comments, concerns on, things that you do better, things that that you saw that I was doing wrong. You know, I like to hear all that stuff. Comment below. From here, I'm gonna go through doing some tires. I'm gonna do, again, a lot of the stuff I'm gonna be doing off camera, but I'm gonna go through tires. I set up my scales. I told you I set up my scales. I'm gonna scale my car, and really start getting some of the final prep stuff done. I really need to try my best to make it out to a racetrack this weekend, because if I don't make it out to a track to test run this weekend, I'm not gonna have time. And like I said, you know, today is right now it's the 24th, so tomorrow's my birthday. Weird. But right now it's the 24th. I gotta leave Reno, Nevada by the 8th to be able to get there on time, and I'd really like to have an opportunity to ride around the track and you know, shake the car down a little bit before I drive all the way across the country. But we'll see what happens, you know. It is what it is. Either way, we're going. So again, thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time around.